Are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Welcome back to the Fourcast. It is the two cast for right now, but we are back again. We were off last week. Me and Wilkes, man, been having a tough time at work. And last week, but pretty much kicked our butts. So we basically came home and probably went to sleep. But we are back again with another great review, and this one I've seen across Netflix, and you see it and you see the graphic, and you're like, okay, this could be good, and it did not disappoint. So Rebel Ridge, that's what we'll be getting into tonight, or reviewing that film, and definitely got some top actors in it. A couple people that we know, a couple people that we've seen in different things, but it's kind of underrated actors. And obviously you got Don Johnson. Anybody that remembers him, he's been in a ton of things, as well as Miami Vice. That's probably what he's most well known for. And then the main character that you see on the left, he's the main plot in the main part of the movie. Aaron Pierre, shout out to him, man. He did one hell of a job. And another one of those British actors, you hear the person talking, you're like, I can't believe this dude is acting this well with that type of accent and changing it. But hey, he did one hell of a job. So, hey, Trap, man, how you doing? How was your week?
It was a week. It was a week.
It sound like everybody, man. It sound like everybody had a week.
That's what I'd say. It was 7 days.
Yeah. Except for those on the other aisle.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But
I wouldn't talk about that, man. I mean, since you brought that up, that don't shock me. That didn't shock me 1%, man.
Okay.
I was disappointed the first night until the numbers came out. When it came out that our community supported Vice President Harris, I was done. I was like, okay, all the people who's been yelling at me for the last 54 years, telling me, "Oh, you tripping, man?" I was like, "Am I still tripping?"
Yeah.
We got documented proof I ain't tripping.
Right. So, exactly.
That's why it didn't shock me 1/2 of 1%. I wanted her to win. I actually thought she would squeak by, but when it came back the way it did, I was like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man, those numbers, it was a wrap, man. I honestly fell asleep. And then when I woke up and I looked at the numbers, I was like, yeah, man, I might as well just go get into bed now. I mean, this is over with.
Yeah, it didn't shock me. I mean, like I said, man, I mean, it's easy for people to look back. Hey, man, I knew that. But y'all know me. Y'all know my mentality. Y'all know where I stand. And I was like, at 7 o'clock, I was like, oh, she ain't got snowball's chance of fishing. She win nothing. You're like, because I got off air at 7 o'clock. So I set it in front of the TV around 7:30, and I was like, back to the then that's when I discovered college basketball had started already.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Go team.
Go basketball.
Yeah, like it ain't back.
Yeah, man. It was I think people still had hope. They still had hope in America. But America is America, man. You can't people are gonna do what they feel they want to do.
Hey, Chan.
And it is what it is. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Together We Break Production. Make sure to subscribe to her channel. Thank you for coming through. But yeah, man, it's we're here now. So what do we
Yeah,
do moving forward? We can't. You still got to go to work the next day. You
yeah, man.
still got to do. You still got to do what you have to do from day to day. Your life does not end based on who is in office. You still got
Be
to.
perfectly honest with you, man. This is me personally, and you usually ask me at the end of the show what I'm gonna talk about. This is exactly what I'm talking about tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the show I have been walking towards for 18 months.
Yep.
Every one of my shows for the last 18 months have been saying, and if this don't happen, you got to do. Well, it didn't happen, and so hey, let's do
Yeah.
it.
This is consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree. I agree with you. All right, yeah, we little brief election recap. We already know who will be in office starting January. So there you
I'm
go.
looking Kang Day.
Orange Man. All right, so Rebel Ridge. Let me read the plot. And I talked to Wilkes. He is doing better. He's family's doing good. He's on his way coming back. He said anybody that was talking anything about him, he's making a list. So he could be coming after everybody when he come back. But he'll be back here soon. I am still side-eyeing you about the lie question, telling the girl your brother was hurt. I don't know about that.
I'm lost.
Yeah, that may have to be a after the show conversation. But Rebel Ridge, it's a 2024 American crime action thriller, written, produced, and directed by Jeremy Saulner, which I had not heard of him before, but he's done some other movies: Murder Party, Blue Ruin, Green Room, Hold the Dark. I haven't heard of any of those. He also he did a couple episodes of True Detective, which a lot of people would
Great
probably
show.
know. So the guy's got some chops for what he did in this one.
Oh, well, she interviewed me. I'm sorry, she interviewed me.
Oh, okay.
I know what she's talking about. I know what she's talking about now. I'm like, oh, okay. I know what she's talking about.
But yeah, man, this was this. Let me finish reading the plot. But so Rebel Ridge was released on Netflix, and it is former Marine confronts corruption in a small town when local law enforcement unjustly seizes the bag of cash he needs to post his cousin's bail. We'll get when we get to the ratings at the end. I'll go over what Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, IMDb, and what some of the Google users voted it. But I enjoyed it, man, from beginning to end. As we kind of get into some initial thoughts, I was on the edge of my seat, and I felt like this was really one of those films that when you're watching a preview, like this is gonna be good. It's either gonna be good or it's gonna be terrible. And I think they did a good job with it. But Wilkes, and you made it home.
I made it. Yes, my brother. Yes, I made it.
But man, talk. We kind of given initial thoughts. Talk about your week. We had a little bit of an election recap. So if you want to give a little bit of thoughts on that.
I won't drag it out, but here's the thing. When I saw it, when I got home that night, I was just like, oh man, it's like I'm looking at 89 something to 29. I'm like, oh my gosh, but it was just crazy. But here's the other thing though. I already knew he probably was going to win because he's been harping about the election of 2020. He's always had these people that just locked and loaded, here's his chance to be great, but he's going to find some way to put his foot in his mouth. He always wants to talk about going out being one of the greatest presidents, but you got to show up, which I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see. Just like most people, they try to wish him well and hope but we know what's going to happen. You know what you're going to get. So, and I kind of felt bad for the people that were. I mean, she did great in that amount of 100 days,
all amount of time, yeah.
In that short amount of time. I mean, the energy that she was giving out to those that they just wanted something different. But let's be honest, America is never hiring a woman president ever. Not in my lifetime. The closest
maybe in our kids' lifetime, maybe.
Closest you're gonna get to a woman president is 24, The Simpsons, something on HBO, and a House of Cards. That's all you get. That's all you get.
Thank you, Kawhi.
I told a lady this a while back. It was the election hadn't even really begun, and and I told him, I was like, man,
what's up, Rhonda?
I was like, there's no way that them good old boys are gonna want her in the office. Some good old boys don't want no woman in their party. Just like George Carlin said, it's a big party and you're not invited. So it kind of stung a little bit for those that were just kind of like, man, we got to get out of this. Oh no, we're in trouble, but come on, man, let's be honest. Men don't want to hear a woman running the country. This ain't Germany. This ain't the UK. And they barely want it over there. So it sucks, but we'll see what he's going to give us. We'll see what he's going to do.
Yeah. Time will tell real quick.
Like I said, he's got a moment to go down as a good president, or he's going to go down burning in flames while telling him, I did a great job. We had some wonderful people on both sides. They were great. They were tremendous. They were excellent. Yeah. So.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, round two of Trump.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And shout out to you, Texas. Boo! God dang it, man.
Yeah, we got Theodore Cruz back.
Yeah.
In the building.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm just glad all the ads are over with. Like,
I just Raphael.
Rafaela.
I call him Theodore.
Yeah, I'm just glad all the text and the commercials and paid by program. Hey man, stop.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm glad we don't have that. This is what this guy did, and he likes little girls in the boys' bathroom. Like, come on, man. Can
y'all put my Threes Company back on, please, so I can go to sleep, so I can fall asleep.
Right. Can we watch the Cowboys get blown out, please? Can you just leave us alone and watch the Cowboys get blown out?
Leave us in peace, my brother. Leave us in peace. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. God dang.
I was so tired of the childishness. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. All these ads, it was basically
it was like the petty stuff. Like, this is what you're upset about? Like, move, man.
Yeah. It was petty hour.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Every single night without fail.
Right.
But Rebel Ridge, give me your initial thoughts.
I thought it was done okay. I was excited to watch it. It was just something different. I mean, how many times have we seen something like this with Van Damme and Tom Cruise and so we've had these movies before where the tough guys in town got to save us. As a matter of fact, there's one right now with oh gosh, what's her name from Dark Angel? She's retired. I mean, she's a billionaire. She didn't have to act. She's got her own like product line. I can't think of her name now, but there's a movie kind of like that right now where she goes back to the town and her dad. I think something happened to the dad and she has to, I think she's got like ex-military training or something like that. Jessica Alba. She's got.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's got something like that on Netflix now. It was kind of quiet. It kind of went under the radar, but I thought Rebel Ridge it held its own. I mean, it was enjoyable. It was watchable. I mean, there were some moments where you kind of like, man, they must be giving these people their first shot because I don't know what's happening right now. But didn't really understand why it was called Rebel Ridge. I mean, you showed me the hill and the bunker, but then you didn't even like go into a fight there. You just kind of like a standoff, but then it took place at the jail in town. So, but yeah, I thought it was okay for what it was. I mean, like I said, we've seen these movies where the guy comes. Honestly, it was like the first Rambo. Rambo comes to town. The cops they messing with dirty cops. They messing with him. Now he's gonna lose his mind on them. So it was okay. I'd watch it again.
Yeah. Rhonda said I thought it was a newer version of Walking Tall.
Yeah. It's got that feel, definitely. Yeah.
The main character again, which I mentioned, Aaron Pierre, he's in town. Basically, he's riding a bike, and that's kind of where it starts off. And he ends up getting basically ran over, or his back tire ends up getting hit. He ends up falling off the bike, and that's kind of where where the story gets going. So they got right into it. It wasn't like a lead up, and it wasn't a long intro. You pretty much got right into it. Had some classic some rock playing, as he's riding the bike and all that. But I felt like that was a good intro, and I really got straight to the point. And we've seen this in a ton of stuff we reviewed. I mean, we can name probably 10 different things we've watched of cops harassing someone, and it seemed like it was like a real small town, and it wasn't a lot of people that looked like him there. Yep. Besides the cop, I think it was the only other person I remember seeing. Oh, and his cousin. But
you saw him once, maybe?
right. You seen him once.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of the opening of it. Give me your thoughts on that, A-Trap, kind of comparing to a lot of things we reviewed.
Oh, well, compared to a lot of things we reviewed, it's typical. It's ironic that we talk about this the week after the election. It's typical America. Black dude, mind his own business, police harass.
Right.
I get used to that.
Yeah.
I get used to that again. But it was typical. I do appreciate the immediacy of the story. It got right into the story. It got right into the meat of it. And I like movies that they get you in the story and then they pull pieces of the story into the movie. And now you because it forces you to pay attention. Instead of giving you the backstory, giving you the story, giving you the middle, giving you the end, they say, "Hey, you in the story," and then they piece it in. Right. I like when directors and movie people do that. That forces you to pay attention to the dialogue. That forces you to pay attention to the action, and then you can't be washing dishes and you can't be talking to people and watch that. They force you to pay attention. So I appreciate that.
You don't want to miss a part of the story. So we're talking about Rebel Ridge. It's on Netflix. At one point, I think it was like top 5 on Netflix.
Yeah, it was on top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's kind of probably dropped off because it
came in September. I think is when I started it.
Yeah, and this was right around the time I think there was another movie. It was kind of a kind of a war, not a war movie, but it was I'm trying to think of the name of it.
It reminds whoever said it's the first Rambo. It is literally the first Rambo. I mean, literally. I mean, the only difference is we didn't just leave the Vietnam War. Rambo came in 81, 6 years before that. Vietnam had just ended. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Stallone was walking, he was riding a bike.
Exactly. Minding his business.
Yeah. He was walking to his friend from the war's house. Ironically, Rambo's friend was a black dude in an all-white town. Right. Yeah. But
sounds about white.
Yeah.
But you know what? Before on the side note, let me sidebar. Big ups to Sylvester Stallone, man.
Oh yeah.
Sylvester Stallone has never made a black dude look bad in the movie. And if you think about it,
now one did die in the movie, but
if you think about it, man, his most popular series is centered around a brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you hear how he talks about Carl Weathers, I think that was one of the things where it's just like, even with the Rocky movie, it's like he did it himself.
It's like he did based on a black dude.
Yeah, it's kind of like stay in the background. Yeah.
Man, Mr. T in the movie. Basically, his corner man was black. I mean,
but think about it, man. The first Rocky was pure Hollywood imagination. You got a black dude who's doing his own promotion, in the 70s.
Yeah,
he's promoting his own fights in the 70s.
Yeah.
The second one is the black dude comes back. The third one is the black dude saves the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to think what
Right, set it
20
up.
years later. I don't know. I don't know how many years ago the first Rocky, but 20 years
Oh,
later,
I'm
and we
gonna
on
say-
Creed. We on Creed 3 from
Right.
that original movie.
And that's become its own.
Rocky came out in 76.
That's like 50 something.
Yeah. So I mean, it's crazy. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. He says okay. But yeah, man, this is one of those one of those films, and going back to Rocky, one of those just series of movies, man, where every single one of them, you could tell, man, Rocky or Sylvester Stallone put in work, man, writing, directing, being involved with all of it.
Yeah, Siri thought you called her name.
But yeah, man. So the movie starts off, I thought they were really about to get into it, like fighting right then and there, because it seemed like he was, the dude was very, he was polite. You could tell that he wasn't gonna be confrontational unless you pushed him to that point. So he wasn't like one of those, militant, and I'm running around and I'm angry and I'm just, don't push me to the point, and everything is all good.
Yeah.
Which they end up pushing them to that point, later on. But yeah, he ends up getting hit. They end up going through his bag. He's got money. He explains clearly what he's doing with the money, and I was like, nah, well, we gotta take this.
Yeah.
We about to take this money. And so he was like, okay, so what I gotta do to get it back? And he kind of rides into town, kind of laying it out like what happened and all that. Now the female cop that was, I guess, kind of working the desk.
Yeah.
This was probably one of her first acting jobs. Is that what you were alluding to?
That's what I was alluding to. Yeah, I was like, man, it was kind of like, hey, we got something for you. You free this weekend? Yeah.
Right. You doing anything?
Yeah.
Your schedule free?
Yeah. What schedule look like?
Yeah. A-Trap, you got anything on that?
Oh, the lady, she was like she's like the Christmas ornament, man. She was just there, You look at the whole tree and you're like, yeah, it's a blue one. Man. She was just there.
Yeah.
You knew she was gonna play a pivotal role,
right? Because she was one of the only black people in it, so you knew at some point, like, who she could choose. She could choose Don Johnson. Right. She could choose him after he roughed up everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that she was
said, like, oh, I see what you're capable of. Yeah, of course.
Hey, and shout out to the actor that was one of the cops, David Denman. Anybody that's ever watched The Office, he was on the first 3 or 4 seasons. Pam's fiance. So shout out to him, man. He did a good job in this. It was believable. It didn't seem like, oh, this is my first time playing a cop role. The other guy was good too. I'm gonna see what his name was. He's.
I'm gonna keep that comment to myself.
With the one that was confrontational, the main bully bad guy.
Yeah, the one that was the bully that was mainly confrontational.
They got ran over, got hit in the face with the butt of a rifle. Got tased in the neck.
Right. Oh, and then he just pops up at the end like, yeah, I'm all good. I'm not hurt at all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It don't hurt to get beat up, I suppose.
Right. Calm down, man.
Yeah. So he kind of rides into town and he's like, wanting to know what's going on. Where's my money? And they're like, all right, we got a deal for you. Now we know the deal was not legit. Right. Anybody that's probably watched this, you knew that the deal was not legit, and they were just basically trying to size him up and see what type of guy he was.
Oh yeah.
So that was, that was no surprise. I think he knew, like, this is probably about to go south, so I need to get myself prepared.
Yeah.
But he had some cool lines in this when he was like, he ends up meeting the lawyer, quote unquote. She wasn't a lawyer, she was a paralegal.
Yeah, I was gonna say
because he had some situations she was dealing with. But he was like, yeah, I don't really give my number out. Yeah, but I'll find you.
Like
Yeah, what's your address? Don't worry about that. I'll be here though. I'll meet you here. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll be around.
So when it came to the Asian guy, that seemed like that was kind of like his I guess guru or I guess his business owner. But did he own the part of the business, or that was just more like his?
I feel like he owned
his
it.
guy.
I think it was one of those situations. They gave you the print. I think this movie. Well, before I get my answer, I think this movie was made. I think this movie was written maybe like around Rambo, because then it makes sense that your business partners with an Asian man being a former war veteran.
Right. Right.
I think this is one of those scripts. They said, man, this would have been, we should have made this. And then they just fast forward, because the Asian dude, business partner, black dude, black military guy, that don't really like, how did you meet him? Blah, blah, blah.
Right. They didn't get into that part at all. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but I think he was a mentor, business partner. Like, that's what, like, when you know the situation, well, when you know people who've been in that situation, like the Asian cat, it took me to martial artists. And that's why he was able to stay calm, because when you know, martial arts teach you, from my understanding, I've never been in a martial arts class, but I know people who are martial artists, and they say martial arts teaches you how to look at a person, size them up, the way they stand, the way they carry themselves, and you go, yeah, I will beat you to death. I'm going to relax. And that's
self-control.
Yeah.
It teaches you, like, hey, nah, I'm looking at you, the way you carry yourself, the way you stand. Nah, I will beat you to sleep. And then I'm also a Marine. Go ahead, do what you do. So that's the calm demeanor. That's the mentorship. That's the partnership. And then the Asian dude helped them out. So that's what made me go, this movie should have been made about 35, 40 years ago, and then it'd have made a lot more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, obviously he was some type of medic. Obviously he had some type of medical training, because when he ended up getting shot later on, he ended up kind of patching him up and everything.
No, that's Marine stuff.
Yeah. And okay, so when he goes to the police station and they're trying to figure out, they I don't know how they think that this dude was like a cook or he was like a nail tech or something in the Marines. Like, I don't know what made them think like this dude was soft. And they completely got it wrong.
Right.
Because when he came back the next time and he was like, okay, all right,
it's showtime.
Yeah. Y'all playing with, you better stop playing with my money.
Yeah.
One thing you don't do
with
us is playing with our money, okay? How many videos you done seen? How many times you done heard one of your parents say, "I'm playing with my money"?
Where my change at?
Right, exactly. You better bring my change back. Well, I just bought some Boston baked beans. Bring all my change back.
Where is my money? And wake you up in the middle of the night. You don't get no change back.
Right, exactly.
Didn't I tell you to give my change?
It was only $1. I don't care how much it was.
Right.
I said, yeah.
Especially when you got plans for that money. Don't play with my money.
Man. Right, exactly.
Don't play with my money, man.
Exactly. Because they be budgeting down to the penny.
Right.
All right. So you, Wilkes, I know you're a big Miami Vice guy. You see Don Johnson in this. Give me your thoughts. You see him on the graphic. You see him in the preview. How was you feeling?
I have to say, man, Don played these roles too good, man. He might be a little racist, man. He might be a little racist.
He played it real good.
He played it real good, man. But the crazy thing is that there was I think it was the last season of Miami Vice where something had blown up and it knocked him unconscious, but he played a bad guy in most of those the remaining episodes. So he's he's no slouch to playing the bad guy or playing the gangster or whatever. He's no slouch to playing the racist either. The Watchmen, he did pretty good in the Watchmen, a little too good. So and what was it? What was it? The Django?
He was in Django. Now I don't remember him in Django though. Was he one of the?
I thought he was in.
He's one of the original traders.
Yeah, he was one of the guys. Plus, I think he was in that. So I'm like, Don, you playing him too good, man.
Yeah, way too good.
Yeah, but no, of course, like I said, I'm a Miami Vice guy. Don Johnson, I'm all about watching whatever he's in. If it's gonna be terrible or if it's gonna be good, but we're gonna see. They got. I mean, even that sitcom he had with what's his name? I knew it wasn't gonna last, but I was like, this show ain't gonna make it. It's I can't think of his name from SNL. It was on NBC, but I think it only had a year. The mom had died, and he was the granddad, and
I never even seen it.
yeah,
Yeah,
it didn't
me
last.
either.
It didn't last that long. I know it wasn't gonna make it, but he was living with his son-in-law and the grandkids is what it was. But it was all right. It felt like a Blackish, but it was on NBC, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what is
Talking
this?
about Doctor. No, not Doctor Odyssey.
No, it's
Oh, that's something new.
it's
that's
Keenan.
coming out.
It's Keenan from
Oh,
SNL.
Keenan.
Bad Bridges.
Oh gosh.
And
Yeah.
he was
Okay. Side note, man. I love Keenan. I think he did all that was great.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man. I think they just try to give SNL cast members a TV show,
oh yeah, that's what they do.
and it
But
just
yeah,
don't work out. I don't remember the last time a SNL cast member had a show that worked out. Nash Bridges.
oh, great, excellent, great follow up to Miami Vice because after that he was in a movie with Tin Cup with Kevin Costner, I think. But other than that, it was like
And he dropped 2 albums.
yes,
Pop albums. I
Yes.
didn't know that till
Pop
just
albums.
looking that up just
Pop
now.
albums, baby.
Hey, I could imagine him doing a Never Gonna Give You. I can imagine him doing one of them
He
days.
probably does. Though it does. He already got that other song, "Looking for a Heartbeat." I'm like, Don, what you doing, man? It looks
Yeah.
like it's set in like Vietnam, which is kind of ironic that we're talking about this because the video is like he's a cameraman or something in Vietnam, like he's taking like events that had happened or something like that. But it was like, why are we filming this the Vietnam War? What is happening? But I don't know. It was weird. Maybe he had a Vietnamese love. I don't know. It was a weird video.
maybe. But you could tell throughout this entire film, when like we were talking about with the martial arts, that Terry Richmond, the character, he had some control. He wasn't. He was like, I'm gonna see how this plays out, but if it does go south, I can handle myself. And one of the funniest parts is they're like, when he shows up the second time, and he's like, he's explaining what he is. He's giving that acronym. And they're looking up what it means, and they're like, "Oh, this dude was nothing. He was nobody. Let me disconnect the internet, reconnect the internet." And it was like, "Oh,
Maybe
this
he
dude
is
was serious. Yeah, he trained people. And now
Right.
they're gonna go out and try to save him." And he pulls his gun out, and he was like, "No, you don't want to do that. Like somebody is hard when they say, yeah, you don't want to do that. They holding your gun."
Right.
He don't have a weapon at all.
You.
Right. And he's like, you probably want to put this down.
Right. Don't do that, man.
Yeah.
Ronnie says Dr. Odyssey.
I started watching that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a new show.
It's pretty good. It feels like Love Boat, but it feels like it's another medical show like on the water, pretty much. So
Yeah.
it's like,
it looks like a Dr. Love or something is what they should have called it or something.
yeah, I've watched the first 2 episodes. I don't know if it's gonna make it, but just my luck, I look up and it'd be on 5 seasons. I'm like,
right.
5 seasons of this?
I don't know. Can you do another on the boat? It's on the boat ER. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very doctor on the high seas kind of thing. Like
there's so many hospitals.
John Johnson is the captain, and what's his name from Dawson's Creek is the doctor up there. So it's
Blue Streak says it's okay.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's gonna make 5 seasons.
Yeah, that's kind of the sense I got. It wasn't nothing. It didn't look like it was anything exciting.
Trust me, I only watched 2 episodes, and I was like, like I said, I'll watch it if he's in it just to see if it's worth it. But I was like, no, stop.
Yeah.
You put your name on this, man.
Hey, man, that check.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Yeah.
The check.
that money be calling.
Yeah. So it comes a point in the film where he's trying to figure out what he can do to get the money back. So his cousin is in jail, and for something that he should not be in jail for that amount of time on a high bail, which I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. A-Trap, setting a. But when you're in a town like this, there's not a lot of checks and balances, and people turn the other way, and they're like, they don't want to get too involved. People start disappearing, and there was even a lawsuit against the department. So, you know, it was already murky. You could tell as soon as with their interactions, what was going on. Slow start, but in May, it might make it because of the cast.
I think they need more cameos too. That's the kind of movie that's going. That's the kind of show that's going to end up having a lot of cameos if it starts picking up. Yeah. You'll start seeing random celebrities on there.
Yeah,
I might be on the way.
Yeah, that's why I said it's like the Love Boat with the Doctor twist. Like that's what I felt like. Isaac might be on there if he's not dead. I don't know. If Isaac did. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah. But as soon as that paralegal came on the scene and they started looking at each other, I was like, do not fall in love, okay? Do not make this like
I thought it was gonna be Reacher there for a minute.
Oh gosh. I was like, don't make this mean a love story, and then they gotta ride off in the police car with the with the flat tire together. Like, come on, don't do this.
The door shot in. Yeah,
right. With the dude in the front bleeding, he like, y'all not gonna drop me off. I mean, I'll just like ride off. But they didn't. They didn't. I think he was just, A-Tribe, give me your thoughts. But I think he was just one of those that he couldn't leave his fellow man or fellow person behind, knowing the situation they were in. But after his brother, his cousin died, I think he was done. But then he's like, all right, I got the ability to help her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. It was it is the core principles of the Marines. You don't leave a Marine down. You don't go on and let other people suffer. Kind of like in A Few Good Men. That's why they went to jail, because it's my job to protect, not to allow bullies to destroy you. So it all tied into the core values of the Marines. Yeah, I was digging it.
Yeah. And it made sense.
I thought they was gonna do the butt naked, but
Oh no.
No, he didn't.
That's what they was angling towards.
That's the way it was going.
Yeah.
Me and Erica looked at each other like, they better not do it.
Don't
do it.
Don't do it.
But it seemed like he was gone. But obviously, when he got a movie, he can't just ride off, because the movie would be over with at that point. He would ride off and just be living on his own, and can't end it like that. And then he riding around in that dually.
Oh my gosh!
That dually truck, just that was funny.
Like this, you couldn't get nothing better than this. What we got there? That's what I'm saying. That's why I said, like, it's like Hard Target. What was it? Hard Target with Van Damme. He was in New Orleans, some part of Louisiana, and it was one of those where he was back because something had happened to a family member. So Lorenzo Lamas. We've seen these movies before.
Yeah.
American Ninja.
Been the first time.
Yeah. So I was going to say, you got to be able to do this to be in this movie.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to shake a little bit. Yeah. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is like Jack Reacher. This is a classic 80s, Mark for Death, Death Wish type, that kind of thing.
It seemed like a Steven Seagal type.
That was the lone hero coming to set things right because the town is not, that's.
Or at least 20 years ago, that's how The Rock got his start.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they determine who's going to be the next action hero. He put out one of these movies, then they go,
oh yeah, you blow up after him.
Then you blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had one more movie like that where he got out of prison and he jogged all the way back to the town or the city, wherever it was. And I can't remember the name of the movie to save my life, but it was the same thing. Like his brother or somebody was in trouble and he had got out. And that's what I said. It was just you've seen these movies before. Everybody, and I don't remember the Jessica Alba one, but like I said, I think that one came out during the summer, maybe July, around that time. But it was under the radar. But it's the same thing. She goes back to the hometown. Her dad got killed or something was in trouble, and next thing you know, she taking down everybody. So
Yeah. And so Aaron Pierre, he's been in quite a few things. Obviously, he was in a show called Genius where he played Malcolm X. I never heard of Genius, but he it looks like he could play. He could play a Malcolm X. He was on the morning show in season 4, which I haven't made it that far. But
see, I watched that show, but I hadn't got to season 4.
Yeah. What's up, April? Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, you could kind of tell they were trying to make this like a love interest, or that's the direction they were going. I'm glad they didn't. I think he was just he wasn't even there. To like I'm just helping you because I'm helping you.
Right.
Because you seem like somebody that obviously needs help, and I'm gonna do what I can. But yeah, cousin ends up passing away, and they end up picking him up. No, he ends up going to the courthouse to try to bail his cousin out. This was kind of before he ended up passing away, and they're like, they run in there and they arrest him and all that, and so I'm like, was that a part of the plan, or was he just trying to get the money real quick to bail him out and then escape?
I think that was poor editing.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get that part.
That's what I heard. And that's what I was saying about. They call it Rebel Ridge. You show the hill that they're on, the ridge, but then he doesn't show up there. No action scene takes place there. So it's just like you just got the cops on. They try to ambush him. They waiting on him. He never goes there. You show it, and it's like, oh, he's back at the station.
Yeah.
What?
And they said Rebel Ridge one time, and I'm like, I remember hearing it, but I don't even know what it was.
Well, it was. Well, they showed the bunker, the hill. I guess the rebels, the Union, for the war, the Civil War was probably fought there. But the thing was that they showed the placard, they showed the bunker. I guess it was, showed the cops, but it was like, okay, what does this have to do with anything?
I guess it was the point of no return. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like you didn't even make it like his last stand at the Rebel Ridge. You just kind of
right.
Oh, this is Rebel Ridge. Yeah. See, okay. Everybody back to the station.
Back to the story.
Everybody back to work.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just
like somebody just panned the camera over there and then just turned it back around. And
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
So was that cop, that lady. She was a little weird. Get out of here.
Well, another funny part is when he comes in there and he's like, tying him up, and they're like, yeah, come out, whatever her name was, and she crawling on the floor. I was like, what are you doing crawling on the floor?
Why are you down on the floor? What is happening?
Maybe she was one of his recruits that didn't make it.
Yeah, I guess.
It was like, Sims, come out. And I'm like, okay, I just thought she was going to walk out, and she crawling on the floor. Like, so, it has some comedic moments in it. It was not all thriller, but a lot of it was serious. It was serious moments. It wasn't like not a lot of comedy in it. And I kind of like the dialogue between Don Johnson and Aaron Pierre when he's talking to him, and he's he's talking about the acronym. He's basically talking about what my experience is, and he's like, I wanted to laugh, but it's not funny anymore, or it's not a good time to laugh now.
Yeah.
So that was good. I think that raised the quality of the movie when you got obviously Don Johnson and Aaron Pierre and doing that dialogue and their characters.
Right.
Yeah.
That's definitely when the movie took a turn for the better, because at that point it started being about the story and not just about affiliating yourself with what's going on. That's when the story kicked in. That's when the corruption was unfolded. That's when everything was put into frame. So that's when I started to enjoy the movie again.
Yeah, it started getting a little deep, because, like I said, I started this back in September, and I got like maybe 45 minutes in, and I was okay, all right. but I had other stuff that I was watching too. But yeah, the story once you started getting, you started realizing, oh wow, there's something deeper going on. You try to threaten people and burn down the court, the office, the courthouse, and stuff like that. So you try to cover yourself in evidence, but. Yeah, because I was curious now. I'm like, okay, is there somebody else? Like, is Don Johnson taking his orders from somebody else? Like, what's happening here? Like, what's going on? So Yeah, it was pretty. And what was up with the other dude? Like, dude, why you bad cop out here like you running things? Like you got a squadron of foot soldiers or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was interesting. When it started getting in that second hour, that last 45 minutes, okay, all right, now you're going somewhere. You pick it up.
And then they go over, they go over to Judge's house, James Cromwell. I know we've seen him in a ton of different things, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to talk." I'm like, "How did you even know who was there?"
Yeah.
Like I guess he knew his day was coming. And I don't know how you knew it was him. Maybe you thought it was the lady, but
that guy's been in everything. But
yeah,
it was kind of one of those things. Like, who is he talking to? Like, who is this guy? Like, how did he know? Yeah.
But I think, hey, you know, you doing dirt for so long, you know your day is coming where you're gonna have to answer to it, and you're gonna have to.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he in Succession? If anybody's seen it, yeah, he was.
I haven't watched it, but I wouldn't doubt it.
He was the brother of the main. The father in Succession. So yeah, the dude's been in a ton of stuff.
A lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Just like that old man from MASH. I didn't really watch MASH, but one of the guys, I mean, he's always a political figure or in some kind of Senate position or something like that.
Oh, a dude who plays Sherman Potter.
Yeah. He's always in something that's like a political drama or some kind of espionage thing going on. He usually turns out being the bad guy, playing both sides, something like that.
Yeah. You know, so really when stuff starts to ramp up is when he realizes, or he kind of makes the deal, or the cops pick him up. They end up taking him. They're like, "Hey, your cousin's here, and we don't know how well he's doing." And they basically give him the money, and you know, cousin ends up dying. So I think at that point he's like, "All right, I'm getting out of town." Yeah. Then he realizes how they're, you know, taking advantage of Summer, the paralegal, and then her story kind of that was a nice, you know, touch to it, giving a little bit of her story. She has a child, and you know she had some substance abuse and not able to see her child and things of that nature. And so he's, I don't think he's necessarily attracted to her, but I think again he's like, I got a way I can help her. But I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Don't do it.
That would have been one of those we had to do in the dark. I don't want to see any of that. Put some Teddy P on, turn off the light. That was one of the perfect scenes for that.
Some shadow scenes.
Right, exactly.
They got to do it in the dark.
Wow.
Darkness, everybody. But yeah, it starts to ramp up, and then when he comes back to the station, he pulls the door off, and I think another funny part was when Don Johnson keeps trying to come after him, and he keeps shooting him like, "Sit down,
sit down." Them potato rounds, baby. You better sit down, man. Gonna bust some ribs.
Yeah, I thought he shot him at first, but he was just more and more like warning.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, he finna get the slugs. I was like, oh, I thought he was gonna be wheezing over there. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. I thought it was over for Don at that moment.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, training day action. Breathe. Okay, breathe. Yeah, they're wheezing.
Yeah. Hey, and a fun fact on Training Day. I don't know if y'all seen this clip, but the director was talking about that whole King Kong don't have nothing on me and all that. That was just improv.
Oh, that's improv. Right? I heard that before. Yeah.
Like that wasn't like planned, and he was like, "Man, I don't even know where that came from." I mean, that's you Denzel. That's where that came from.
Right? This is what I bring to the table.
Yeah. But anyway, side note, Gladiator. I think that comes out later this month.
I think he's gonna run that one too.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, so that is I want to see that in the theaters. I think that's gonna be good. Long time coming.
I gotta finish Macbeth. I know some people didn't like it; it was a little slow, but I read Macbeth a lot and seen different playwrights and read Macbeth. I need to finish that. It's on Apple TV. I need to finish it.
Yeah, I've seen the preview of it, but yeah, I hadn't
it's not everybody's speed. I know it's slow. The story was slow, and I hated reading in class. And our teacher had us reading sections. I'm like, come on. But then every time I saw Macbeth, I had to watch different versions. It's been so many different versions of Macbeth. I was like, all right, we'll see. I'll watch it.
Yeah, yeah. So when the female cop kind of comes on to Raymond's side, and they're basically carrying him out, and I think she realized, like, all right, Don Johnson ain't got it. Like, if it's Don Johnson versus this guy, I'm gonna go with the guy who
Right.
who could actually.
I'm gonna go with the
After
guy
she's seen him basically,
dragging another guy.
yeah, really. And then you get to the moment where the cops are like kind of deciding, like, all right, whose side are we about to be on?
Yeah.
And the guy that was from the office, he was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna side with Aaron Pierre's character, because I think he's actually got a reason. He's actually got a case. He's actually got something. And that surprised me. I just thought it was gonna be like, Aaron Pierre versus everybody, and he was just about to kill everybody and then move on. But he actually had a couple people, came on his side. Was y'all surprised about that, or was that kind of, you felt like that was going to be in
I
the
feel like
plot?
the way these movies are written, I wasn't really surprised. I mean, there was just one of those moments where I felt like, okay, they're gonna write this into he's gonna get some help from where they're not even gonna expect it. So
Yeah. And the fact he didn't get shot at all is quite amazing. Not in the leg, the arm, or anything.
Well, I mean, the way the world is designed, he shouldn't have got shot because they're a bunch of bumpkins, and he's a Marine trainer. I mean, I am as they said in Stripes, lean, mean fighting machine against a bunch of goofballs. Your master's fighting Barney Fife. you should keep Barney Fife.
Hey, and like disassembling guns this in a couple seconds. I mean, you could tell that the dude had some training, and for him to be in this film, I could imagine the type of work that he went through, to get in this type of shape with this type of background that this guy had.
There's a video of the one we watched with Michael B. Jordan where it kind of starts Ghost Recon, Tom Clancy.
Yeah, Tom Clancy.
Rainbow Six, actually, Rainbow Six. But
there's
a video. What's that?
That was good.
Yeah, it was. There's a video of him on YouTube getting that training somewhere in Texas. And he's out. I mean, he's out there early in the morning, and they running drills and doing combat things. Yeah, you got to get into it, make it look believable.
Yeah, and he made it look believable. It didn't seem like this is something he was just doing as a job, or he was just acting. Yeah, seemed believable. So I definitely give them their props on that. And then when we look at the corruption, I mean, at any point in time, stuff like this goes on.
Right.
I mean, with money being mishandled, money being, you finding money or from drugs or from drug money, or putting it back in the community, and then you get that money that funnel back to you. All of that. I mean,
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right.
All that kind of stuff.
That
part wasn't surprising at all.
Right. It was part for the course.
Right. So yeah, man, you kind of even with the dash cam, which that's big in today's time, which I felt like that was good. They had that in it, and he's like, yeah, if you start the car, the dash cam starts, so you're able to flip the switch and all that.
Right.
And that was a good touch to it, because that's a huge part in a lot of cases, a lot of things that happen between police and civilians, or police and people. So that was a nice touch to it. And then at the end, he ends up basically ripping it out, which is kind of like his, and then just sitting in the lobby. That was a good ending.
Yeah.
Well, you had to rip it out, because if you don't take that mainframe out, the information is going to disappear.
Right.
Exactly.
Quickly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take this hard drive.
Right.
And with my reputation and who I am, which just shows you, I was gonna stay away from the political thing, but you can't. This shows you what's really going on in the world today, because on the surface, America tells you that we love our servicemen, and our servicemen mean everything to us. And more than anybody, the white culture pretends that that's their thing. And this entire movie was proof positive of that's a joke. And not even to mention that you see a lot of military people laying in the streets,
Right.
they're homeless. Like I think like 40% of military people, military vets are homeless.
Wow.
So this just shows you this is a microcosm of America in general. And what happens is I personally believe the story is really saying that if you can get to the point where you can get to the state or the federal level, then at that point you get beyond these small municipalities. At that point, then those guys are protected, but they should be protected at hello instead of being protected. Oh man, one day we gonna if I can jump through 10 hoops and kill 4 police sergeants, I can make it happen.
Wow. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Not happening.
If I could basically do an American Gladiator course,
right?
Exactly.
Dragging people around, you got smoke bombs and everything.
I think Warner was a Marine.
What's up, Jungle? Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Warren is a Marine.
Hey, let us know.
He was probably a cook or something.
Wow.
You know he coming for you on that comment.
Hey man.
But and I mean, perfect opportunity today being Veterans Day.
Yeah, I did just realize that we did this on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Thanks for your service, Warren. Those meals were delicious.
Wow.
It was perfect timing. Perfect timing with this. And he seemed to be homeless. Now, it didn't seem like it was because he got pushed out. It was me.
Remember, he said he sold everything to start a business with his cousin. So they were relocating. This is a situation. This is classic America. I tried my best to stay away from it, but damn it, I'm in track.
It is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
This is classic America. You got 2 black men who are relocating to put themselves in a better situation. And the corrupt police and the politics of the situation puts the politics of the country, county, city, and state puts you at a disadvantage, and you have to revert to your natural instincts to get out of this. And that's what we witnessed. This entire movie was that.
Now, did the police send some people to kill his cousin?
Of course, they put him in a poor situation. It's kind of like back in the early 90s when Jeffrey Dahmer got murdered and Wisconsin didn't have a death penalty. So they put him in Gen Pop. And then 2 weeks later, he was dead.
Yeah.
So they put him in a situation to whereas you're not going to be, like we said,
not
this
going
is
to make
all
it
white
out
town. You're the only black dude. And they they already corrupt. So they got people on the inside. Look, I can get you out if you do this. And then they killed him and then bam.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to think that he was just going to leave, like you already knew what his background was. You knew that he already came to the police station and single-handedly took care of y'all.
Yeah.
Because
he wasn't going to leave like
dumb.
that.
Yeah, that was dumb. Y'all just think he was just going to up and leave. And, like everything was all good.
But you know what? Most people would have. Let's just be honest. That's what we do. Just like, with assault cases, whether it be sexual or physical assault, most cases aren't reported. And just imagine how many people I've been I won't say assaulted, but I've been verbally and physically assaulted by the police. I've never filed a report.
Mm-hmm.
I had a police officer pull me over about 6 years ago. Now, I did almost hit his car, but I sneezed. I sneezed and I was turning.
Okay.
So I swerved and almost hit his car. He did a U-turn, followed me to my crib. I could have been a jerk and just got out of my car and walked in the house. He would have been able to do anything to me.
Yeah.
And he still didn't do anything to me. He pulled over. He get to yelling and screaming at me. Oh, by the way, black cop. But he pulled the yell string. It was to the point where his partner was like, man, you going too far now.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
And then, me and him get into it. One of my homeboy who's a Fed, he told me, man, you need to go to police. He yelled at me for about 30 minutes. I went to the police station and the desk sergeant, and I quote, what did you do to him?
Of course.
So,
of course, that's the first question.
Oh, by the way, just in case you thought it was just some white man, no, it was a Latino woman. So they're all in the game. So and they expect the general populace to walk away and just take their licks, which I did. I played right into their narrative. So yeah, they do expect you to leave. Oh, you're a military dude, but for an odd time, we give you your money back. Be glad with your money. Your cousin did. Don't make it be you. So yeah, that's exactly what they thought, and this is the prevailing thought. From my perspective, in the United States of America today, and it will be reoccurring today. I mean, now, because ever since your homeboy got reelected, I personally anticipate an assault on a black individual by a cop. More than likely, it will be a black cop. It will be a national story before the end of 2024.
Oh yeah, I thought you would say before the end of this month.
It was shocking.
It's crazy.
Don't sleep on it.
How many? I think the biggest thing, though, how many times has this stuff happened that's not on the news? That's not on the media. Like like it's an everyday thing. We just don't know it.
Warrior is coming.
Right. And so they calculated wrong because he was not. He was gonna leave, but he ended up being like, all right, somebody I can help. And I mean, she was just the fact that they came in her house and shot her up and got out. I mean, that's a whole nother level of
they trying to knock her off quick.
Yeah, really. But it was just so it'll show up on her drug test, and then now you can't see your kid anymore, and that's wild.
I mean, this is we look at these as art life imitating art, or is it art imitating life? Maybe not a drug situation, but how many times have we heard about people getting things planted on them? I even have a joke. I have a personal joke amongst my friends about dating celebrities. I was like, man, because anytime somebody gets hit for some alimony, I was like, yeah, man, I date her, get her pregnant, and then I put some cocaine in her car, and then say, I can't have my kid around here, and I can get child support. I've been telling that joke for years. So So where did I get that from? I didn't just pull it out of my butt.
Right, exactly.
This is the world we live in, and this movie, it was a cool story and it was some solid acting and a solid story, but it is what we experience. It may actually, ironically, it might just be a preview of what we're on the horizon. This may be very well what we have to adapt to, and our ancestors and our elders have dealt with on a lower level. Right. Let's just be honest, man. It's a green book out there. It used to be a dude that Mr. Green, he put a green book out there letting you know where you could and could not go.
Right.
Yeah.
Route 66. Route 66 is a highway that goes from Chicago. It's called Ogden Street here. It takes you straight to California, and it was not designed for us to be on.
Oh no. No, hell no.
So this is America, man.
Yeah.
That's
this was just a smaller view of it. But yeah, I agree with you.
Still sundown towns in the United States of America. It's still, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. So reading some information on this film. So in November 2019, John Boyega was actually supposed to play the main role, which I don't know. I don't know if he would have been able to do this.
Did they have a trailer with him, or I felt like I've seen something like that where he was supposed to play this role, and I thought they put out like a teaser, but then I didn't know much about it after that.
Yeah, so they said the filming was slated for April 2020. Obviously got postponed with COVID. Principal photography eventually began in Louisiana May 3rd. And then June, Boyega ended up leaving. And that's kind of why I ended up leading to.
Okay. I think I saw something like that with him. And I was like,
maybe.
It just kind of disappeared.
But I don't know. I like his acting. I don't know if he could have did this.
Which one is John Boyega?
He was in the movie Breaking that we did about the guy that former military that robbed the bank, and he didn't rob the bank.
Oh, he snapped. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if he could have did this.
He only wanted like 100 something or 500.
Right. It was an exact amount.
Who did the Nat Turner movie? He directed that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in they clone Tyrone too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know, man. It ain't you know. Come on, is it really hard to be black and pretend to get play a role? Cops harassing you. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Marine part. I don't know if that was that.
They gonna give you 6 weeks of training, you know.
Yeah.
Get you in shape, get your stripper body back.
Get you ready. But all right, man. You know, the ending I felt like was good. You know, kind of faded off. Everybody seemed to get help. Nobody, you know, in that whole situation, nobody really seemed to die. I mean, some people was roughed up.
Right.
And that was the other part. He wasn't like I'm trying to kill everybody. He was more so I'm a neutralize the situation and I'm gonna get away. And you know, everybody lived to fight another day, type of thing.
Yeah, because he knew he was a government official. He knew that's the beauty of being a Marine, allegedly in the United States. You will get the benefit of the doubt. You go to court and you flash that star, they're gonna be like, hold it, you're a decorated war veteran. You're training our soldiers to go do things.
Right.
You're a slime ball.
Yeah.
Grab him.
Yeah.
This was the easiest case all day.
Exactly.
Yeah, they taking his word, you know, according to the lore of America.
Right.
They're taking his word. So that's why he took the hard drive. Like, hey man, okay.
Right. I don't trust y'all.
Yeah, really. I need all the proof because
And then you
y'all
got
not gonna give me.
The question is this: the black lady, does she go down with the police department? Because she technically wasn't corrupt.
I would say no because she was outside Don Johnson's car, about to arrest him. So I think she was. Yeah. She flipped the script. She was probably involved with the corruption.
If they made a season, or it's not season, but they made another movie. By the time he go back to the town, she'd be running the place. She'd be running the jail. You know, that's what it is. I think that's how it goes because she was right there.
Yeah, she was definitely involved.
Because she played a minor role in it, but she could always cop out to the Nazi cop out. I was just calling them functions.
Yeah,
exactly.
I was just doing what they said.
Right. I'm just here so I don't get fired.
right, exactly. All right, y'all. So final thoughts. Mike rating, Rebel Ridge, still available on Netflix. I would definitely recommend watching it. It was 2 hours, but it wasn't a hard 2 hours. It wasn't like you was looking at the clock. And I was more so looking at it like, okay, how much are they gonna try to fit into this time, or they could be able to fully, you know, tell everything. And I feel like they told everything you needed to know. And I didn't think it was a lot left out. But yeah, it was 2 hours and 11 minutes. But final thoughts and Mike rating, Wilkes.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I had other things that I was watching and doing in September, so I fell off. But it caught my attention when I saw it. I was like, man, I want to watch this. And of course, as I'm watching it, I said before, I've seen movies like these kind of echo what's happening here. I don't know. I'd have to give it probably a 4. I was gonna say a 3.5, but I'm gonna put it at a 4.
Okay.
I echo those sentiments exactly, but I'm gonna give it 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't doing anything. I got a lot of time on hand now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I watched a lot of movies now.
Yeah. I watched it last night, which was good because it's still fresh. And then right after, I'm thinking I was about to give it a 4.5 or a 5, and then after we talking about it, I'm like, there's a lot of things that can't, you know, it can't be a 5, but it was good. It was good. It's like I said, easy watch. Definitely a Netflix type film because it had some up and coming actors and some other well experienced actors. And Don Johnson did a hell of a job. Director did a hell of a job. So I'm gonna give it a 4. I think it's right at that point.
Yeah.
And the other film I was thinking about was Land of Bad, which is also on Netflix.
I hadn't seen that.
That is good. That's kind of a war movie. Russell
Pull up the
Crowe,
preview real quick.
Liam
Pull up the preview real
Hemsworth.
Oh, I saw that, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, that was good.
Can you pull up the preview real quick and show the people?
Yeah. Let me 1 second.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this. I said 3.5 because we've seen it 10,000 times before.
Yeah. We've definitely seen these types of.
Oh, that
films
movie
before.
with Jessica Alba was called Trigger Warning.
Okay. And yeah.
She like a or something, didn't she, on a TV show?
What was that?
Didn't she play a cop on a TV show too?
Yeah, it was her and
Gabrielle Union.
It was her, Gabrielle Union. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought it was supposed to be a spinoff of like Bad Boys or something. LA's Finest. It was called LA's Finest.
Hey,
it actually wasn't bad.
Yeah, that would have been good
like
though.
Only an hour with brown people.
Yeah, pretty much. It's on Netflix because it was on Fox, and of course it got canceled. And then it popped up on Netflix. I think they tried to continue it on Netflix, but I think they just kind of phased it out. But
I think Netflix needs to change their the way they do things. Stop putting out the entire season in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't know if they will, because that's kind of like their calling card. It's just they just release all.
They know they get you on that binge.
They want you to. Yeah. They want you to binge. They want you to call in at work. They want you to miss.
Right. They want you to not be the Phoenix spot.
Right. They want you to not be in society so you can watch this whole thing.
Oh, and of course, Jessica Alba is a special commando in that movie. Trigger warning.
I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to believe that, but I have to watch it. I don't want to prejudge.
Hey man, Queen Latifah has been what's his name for 5 years now.
Facts. I don't get that. She's not chasing.
And we know that's not her on the. We know that's not her on the motorcycle. Can we stop?
Let's be real. She's not chasing nobody down.
Motorcycle ride.
No, she got a motorcycle, but that ain't her on that one. They did stunts. No, well, maybe some shots.
She is not running down anybody. I can guarantee you that.
I'm waiting on the Denzel cameo, man. Anybody's going to close it out with the Denzel cameo, man.
That would be dope.
That would be dope. You said it's been 5 years already with that Equalizer.
Yeah.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, it came right on after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's one of those ones the Chiefs won. Huh?
She's set for life now.
Oh yeah, she's straight. She ain't.
Oh yeah. She probably been good.
Man. Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about when you get a TV show that goes into 5 years. That's
5 years. Are you straight? Yeah. If you make 5 years, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
Appreciate you, Rhonda.
All right, Rhonda.
All right, so this is Land of Bad. Hold on, let me pull that up. I don't know if hopefully y'all can.
Oh, yeah. Haven't seen that one.
You were having a very pleasant day. Blessed. Then someone rains on our parade. They removed one cancer just to find another.
It's not the conversation we should be having right now.
We're going after a CIA asset that's been captured.
Is this your first mission in theater, JTAC?
Second, do me a favor. Keep up. The last thing we need in this op is have to save your ass.
The hell are these guys?
Local militia.
Yo, hand over in 5.
I'm ready. I have your eyes in the sky and the bring roof too.
Subtle.
I got movement.
We got a situation. RPG 12 o'clock. Incoming!
Weapons away.
Reaper, you there? Reaper.
We're here, Playboy. You gotta get your ass on the move, son.
Go on, soldier.
Hang in there, okay?
Blackbird, can you stay in the area?
Negative. Go forward.
Playboy, are you injured?
Can't talk right now. I get it. This is not where you want to be. Okay, it's not here. It's here. 3 hostiles heading your way.
Do not move. There's no way I'm off this island.
Remember your training. This is gonna get ugly.
Our priority is protecting the men and women who serve this country.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You gotta move, man.
Get up and go.
We doing that next week? Oh,
Oh, February 16th. I hadn't seen that. They said
we
2024.
doing that next week? Dang.
That's already out. That's already out. Now, so I won't be on next week. It's my anniversary. So,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but we can do it the week after. I mean, I'm cool with it.
His brother did Extraction and Extraction 2. Chris Hemsworth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
Netflix.
I was even thinking about the what is it called, the Black History of the Black Quarterback.
I saw. I
we did
didn't
that.
watch it, but that was on Amazon. I saw
That
that.
was, that was pretty dope.
Yeah. I was thinking we do that.
Let's do that.
That's right. That's like a 3-part. I think it's a 3-part.
3-parter. It was pretty dope, man. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It
And
made me a
Vic was
fan of
doing the
Steve
interview,
Young,
right?
man. It made me a fan of Steve Young, man.
Oh,
Oh,
it must be really. It must be really good.
Now, and Michael Vick was doing the interviewing, right? Or he was kind of.
He did James Shaq Harris. He did everybody, man. He did every quarterback in the last, every big time scrambling quarterback in the last 30 years, 40 years. And I'm so glad he did James Shaq Harris, because Shaq is a forgotten hero. You know, they talk about what's my man name out of Joe Gilliam out of Pittsburgh. They talk about Joe, but they only talk about Joe because he ended up ODing and dying. But they never talk about. They talk about Marlon Briscoe out of Denver, and they made him a wide receiver. They talk about a lot of people. People forget about. They act like Vince Ferragamo put the Rams in the Super Bowl against the Steelers. James Shaq Harris did that, and Vince Ferragamo, he gets the credit, but.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that's right up our alley. Obviously, all of us
I'll check that out.
fans. So, yeah, it's on Amazon. So coming up on the 25th, we will not be on next week, but 25th.
That's Thanksgiving week.
Yeah. But it's called. I think it's called History of the Black Quarterback, right?
History of the Black Quarterback. Yeah, I watched it when it first came out.
Yeah.
I gave up my favorite toy this week.
Oh, Evolution of the Black Quarterback. Which, hey, Michael Vick would be the best. Probably him or Randall would probably be the best person to do those interviews. So
that's what I was disappointed that they didn't do Randall.
They didn't do. Come on,
you didn't have Randall Cunningham in there?
What about Warren Moon? They did Warren Moon.
They did Moon. They did just about everybody, but they didn't do Randall.
I mean,
unless
Randall don't do a lot of press. He's a pastor. He went back to Vegas. Randall doing this thing, man.
Pretty. Like his daughter is what plays volleyball, I think.
His daughter plays volleyball for LV, I think.
Yeah. But I wanted to give some of the reviews from other places. 6.8 on IMDb, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's
wow.
High. Metacritic 76, Google users 72. So, I mean, overall, it's about between a 70-75%. So, which I think is fair. I think that's fair. But I'm surprised with Rotten Tomatoes. They normally pretty hard on anything, rating it. So,
well, it's military, so they ain't gonna do no thing.
they don't want to get no backlash.
Yeah, oh man, you don't want to hit the soldiers. You hate the troops, Go back to that shit.
But end of the bench, you already kind of talked about it. Anything else you want to add before we?
End of the bench is tomorrow. It's pretty much a game plan for the next millennium. So I'm not kidding. It's everybody is up in arms about the election, and like I said, it didn't shock me in the least bit. And then shout out to Wilkes, who came in and echoed everything I said, literally everything, word for word. And it's time to create I really believe it's time to create a bubble. And when you create a bubble, you protect yourself. And then you have business partners. We need to have business partners in this country. You know, when you are, if you're a part of our community, you make a business partner with the LGBTQIE. You make a business partner with the Jewish community. You make business partners with the Latino community and every other community. Because, you know, as the great Dr. John Henry Clark said, black man, you have no friends. You want a friend, look in the mirror. Right. Because by and large, we have a hate migraine and greedy a greedy country, and it's self-centered. And you know, and one of the ways you create a situation to whereas your coalition is advantageous to working with other people is finance. One of the things you do with finance. One of the things you do with finance is this, and this is just an opinion. I'm not an expert. Please, I don't have a Series 7, but what I will do is tell everybody who's listening and talk to you tomorrow about it is open up an Acorn or a Robinhood account. For example, here's just a few numbers that I got from one of the websites that I use. If in 2015 you put $500 into these guys, if you put 500, not 5,000, not 5 million, not some astronomical number that you cannot afford. I'm talking about if you started in January 2015 and just by the end of the year you'd have put $500 into your Robinhood or Acorn account. If you would have put it in,
I have Robinhood.
Okay, if you'd have put it in Microsoft, you would have $7,000 right now with a $500 investment. If you would have put it in Alphabet, which is Google, you would have $50,000 right now. So the people that say, "Well, I don't have the money to do it," yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
If you would have put it in, what's another one of my next? If you'd have put it in Facebook, aka Meta, you would have $320,000 right now. Just left it, put in 500, and then walked away. Yeah. And if you would have put it in Amazon, if you would have put it in Apple, you would have $2.5 million with a $500 investment.
It's there. I'll tell you, it's there.
It's there. If you would have put it in Amazon, you would have 13 million. Tesla, you'd have 7.5 million. Amazon, you have $13 million. And if you would have put it in Nivea, which most of us don't even know what that is, but if you put it there, $500 you'll be comfortably at a measly $45 million. Wow.
You're saying if you would have put this in at when?
In 2015.
2015.
Wow.
Well, that's what they said. I heard something similar to this about Warren Buffett, like back in the 60s or something. If you would have invested in him then, right now you'd be looking pretty. You'd be sitting nice.
So I'm gonna go into that, and I'm gonna give people last couple of weeks I gave people websites to go to, and I'm gonna talk about that. And I'm also gonna talk about how we as a community, we have to stop over-indexing in things that are not indexing in us. And once you do that, you won't have to worry about being mistreated, because at that point you're an asset, not a deficit. So and for those who doubt me, all you have to do is I put in, you'll find out tomorrow.
Stay tuned.
Make sure to tune in Into the Bench tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. Into the Bench Media. Make sure to subscribe to that channel.
Will not be televised. You cannot come in and cop out.
Subscribe to all the other channels.
Right.
Scrolling down at the bottom of the screen. And so again, we won't be on next week, but we'll be back on the 25th with Evolution of the Black Quarterback. Definitely looking forward to that one. I don't know. We may have Doc back. If not, I'll be looking at maybe a special guest or two to get on and talk about that. So Thank you everybody for tuning in. A-Trap, you don't mute.
Don't mute.
I was being a jerk at that point.
Sounds like the election.
Womp, 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 womp.
CJ would be great for that show.
Okay, definitely.
Absolutely.
But y'all already know, man. The holidays coming up. It's close to Christmas. If I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God. Without the baby oil. And don't swallow.